Hello everyone, Alex here. I am looking out the window right now and it is absolutely freezing here in Columbus, Ohio. The snow just will not stop.
I know. I had to scrape a thick layer of ice off my windshield just to get to the studio today. Welcome to the Midwest, right?
Exactly. And today, Sarah, we are talking about something that causes just as much physical discomfort as this freezing weather for people learning English. We are talking about the word been.
It sounds like such a simple word, 4 letters. But working with adult immigrants here in Ohio, especially those trying to enter the corporate world, I see the panic it causes.
Let us talk about that panic, because we are not just teaching grammar today. People can read a textbook for that. We need to discuss the real pain behind this.
The real pain is the break room at work. You are getting coffee and a manager walks in and asks, "How have you been?" or "What have you been up to?"
And your mind just goes blank. You know the words, but you freeze. You are terrified of sounding uneducated.
Yes, people stay awake at night worrying about these tiny interactions. They avoid social events. They miss out on promotions because they cannot confidently talk about their own experiences.
I read a fascinating study from the Journal of Neurolinguistics. It found that the concept of the present perfect tense, the idea of connecting the past to the present moment, actually requires a much higher cognitive load for non-native speakers.
That makes complete sense. If your native language treats time completely differently, like Vietnamese does, forcing your brain to use been is not just a vocabulary problem. It is a fundamental shift in how you process time.
So we are going to fix that today. We will break this down so clearly that it becomes muscle memory. Let us start with the most basic situation, places.
Right. Talking about life experiences. I have been to Japan. The key concept here is the round trip.
I went to Japan and I returned. I'm sitting right here in Ohio telling you about it.
Compare that to, he has gone to Japan. If someone says that, it means he is still there. It is a one-way ticket. He is not in the room with us.
This brings up a major mistake I hear frequently. People forget the word to. They say, I have been Japan.
Linguists call that fossilization. It happens when you make a mistake early in your learning journey and nobody corrects you. It hardwires into your brain, and it takes 10 times more effort to unlearn it than to learn a new word entirely.
That is a terrifying thought. You practice the wrong thing until it feels right. Listeners, write this down. Always say been to when talking about a place.
Now, let us tackle the small talk anxiety we mentioned earlier. The infamous, "How have you been?"
If you just say, how are you? You are asking about right this second. But how have you been covers the entire gap of time since we last saw each other.
And how should they answer, Alex? Because simply saying, "I am fine," abruptly ends the conversation. It makes the other person feel like you do not want to talk.
You reply with a state of being that connects to the present. I have been good, just really busy with work. Or, I have been a little tired with all this snow, to be honest.
That is brilliant. Adding that small detail builds a bridge between you and the other person. It shows emotional intelligence in a second language, which is incredibly difficult to achieve.
Exactly. Let us push deeper into states of being. I want to compare 2 sentences. I was stressed yesterday versus I have been stressed lately.
If you say, "I was stressed yesterday," the stress is gone. It is a finished event. You woke up today feeling fine.
But I have been stressed lately means the heavy weight is still on your shoulders right now. You are carrying it into the present moment.
This is why getting the tense wrong can hurt your relationships. If you tell your spouse, "I was tired," when you mean, "I have been tired," they might not understand why you are still acting exhausted today.
That is a very profound observation. Grammar is not just rules, it is how we communicate our emotional reality to others.
Let us talk about actions that continue over time. Things you have been doing. I have been studying English for 2 years.
Professional. This structure is vital for job interviews. When the hiring manager asks about your experience, saying, I have been managing the logistics team, shows ongoing value. You did it in the past, and you are still doing it.
It sounds so much more professional than I manage the team. The word been implies dedication and sustained effort.
I want to highlight something native speakers do that ruins the listening comprehension for learners. We swallow the words. I have been becomes I've been.
Yes, and you have been working sounds like you've been working. It happens so fast. This is why people think they do not know the grammar, but actually, they just cannot hear it in real time.
So, what is the strategy here? How do they overcome this auditory blur?
You have to produce it yourself. Speak it out loud. When your own mouth gets used to saying, I've been, your brain will finally start recognizing it when others say it. It is entirely mechanical.
That is powerful. Now, I want to talk about how been can actually soften a message and make you seem more polite. This is crucial for office politics.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine you forget to reply to a client. If you say, sorry, I was busy, it sounds defensive, almost rude.
But if you say, I am so sorry, I have been dealing with an emergency all morning, it changes everything. It provides context. It shows respect.
Another great phrase is, I have been meaning to call you. It literally means, I wanted to do it. It was on my mind, but I failed to execute it.
It is the perfect excuse. Much better than saying, I forgot about you. It saves face for both people involved.
Before we finish, we should probably address the overuse of been. Sometimes learners discover this word and start putting it everywhere.
Yes, the classic mistake. I have been to the store yesterday.
If you state a specific time in the past, like yesterday, last year, or in 2015, you cannot use been. You must use the simple past. I went to the store yesterday.
Because the door to that time period is closed. Yesterday is finished. Been is for an open door. It is for experiences in your life, and your life is not over yet.
That is a beautiful way to think about it. Been is the grammar of an unfinished life.
I like that. So, to our listeners, do not let this small word control your confidence. You have the right to speak, even if it takes you a second to remember the rule.
Take the time you need. Your ideas are more important than perfect grammar. But mastering this will certainly make your daily life much easier.
Thank you, Sarah. Now go warm up your car. I think the snow has finally stopped.
I will try. Thank you for having me, Alex. Keep practicing, everyone.